all being unpacked. It's great fun. But I have actually been sent some stuff. Now, this video is not sponsored in any way. I've not been paid to make it, and I haven't even been asked to say anything positive about these products. In fact, I don't know what they are because I literally haven't opened them yet. I opened the outer packaging. Now, this box has been sent to me by Etchr. I'm going to point the camera downwards, and I thought it would just be fun to open it up and see what's in there and have a go at a play with the products and see what they're like. So here is what Etchr sent me. Now, I've had this stuff for about 2 weeks because I got sick, my assistant Chloe got sick, everybody was sick. But, nothing major, nothing major. Now, they said they were going to send me this spring edition, and I literally haven't opened it yet. It's just been sat on the side because I wanted to open it on camera. And I was surprised that this little box came separately, so I don't know if that was not part of this package or who knows. But anyway, this came separately. So this is Watercolor Bookmarks, laminated edition holiday mystery pack. So maybe it got left out when they were packaging things up. I really don't know. So what's in here? Oh, we've got some bookmarks as promised, but this is nice. They've got like a little, and I will try these things out with paint in a moment, but let's open things first. So they're fairly thin, but they look like they've got a good texture, and we've got these little threads that I guess you just knot through afterwards, and they appear to be, yeah, so this looks like sort of a waxed cotton, such as you might use for jewelry making, and I guess you loop it through there. So they look nice. We'll try that out with a bit of paint in a moment. But the main event is this thing here. So as I said, it obviously it had an external packaging, which I removed, and then it's got this internal packaging. Now, I don't know anything about these. I don't know if these are for sale or if this is just something they're sending out to influencers with a pack of things to have a look at. Influencers, me. Right, so we've got this. I mean, I am just going to cut it, but it appears to have one of those things with a string where you pull it along, but that's hard to do whilst keeping on camera, and I'm violent, so let's just hack it with a blade. Okay, so it appears to be paper. It is paper on the outside, but it's got this plastic stuff here, which I guess is keeping it safe. And what have we got inside? So I can see straight away there's sort of pads and boxes inside. And oh, there's some smaller boxes too. Let's pull those out. I know it's a little close up. It's hard for me to get the camera any higher here. So let's see what we've got. Spring It Up watercolor paint set. Now, I don't normally agree to review paints on this channel because I have a thing with Jackman's art materials where I design colors, but this is what they've sent me. So let's have a look at it. Oh, okay, so it's a small painting. Oh, we've got some pan paints in here. So this size is what they call half pan. So when you have a tin like this, you can literally swap colors in and out, and you can put any brands in them. They're specific sizes. You get half pan and you get full pan, which is the size of 2 of these. I don't generally use pan paints. Most professional artists don't, not because there's anything wrong with pan paints at all, but simply because we tend to work on larger paintings and it's easier to squidge a load out of a tube. But we'll have a play with those in a moment. I'll need to take the paper wrappers off them first, and actually let's just pick one up, because often with these sort of things they'll have the pigments on the back or on the side. I'm just having a look here. Not seeing any pigments listed. Okay, so there's no pigments listed there. They may be perhaps on the packaging. I'll have a look. And this one is Deep Olive. Now, the problem you have with pans like this is remembering what the colours are. So what I would usually do is make a little card to go in here and swatch the colours on and write them underneath, which I might do in a minute. But as I said, these have all got names. What you find sometimes with more student-based brands or with cheaper brands is they'll have a name rather than a pigment. Now, to be clear, that's not the sign of how good a quality they are, but we've got something here that's called Spring Yellow. If this was a professional set, it might be called Cadmium Yellow Deep. I don't know that's what's in there, but whatever it is. This one's called Soft Sand. It looks very much like a yellow ochre to me. As I said, you get pure pigments and then you get mixed colours. So even in very expensive paints, you'll get things called Payne's grey, which is a particular mix of different colours to make a blue grey. And it varies from manufacturer to manufacturer. But that's just something I'm noticing here. The only one that's got a written colour that's something related to pigment is this one, Umber Brown, which suggests that it is an umber, as most of the browns are. So we'll move that. So let me just have a look here and see. So we've got the colours listed on the back, and we've got something about light fast and pigment transparency, and they've got this little key here. So we're transparent, semi-transparent, semi-opaque, opaque. Light fast rating goes from excellent at 8 down to 1 at poor. So if we have a look at the label I took off, we have got some information here. So depolish, we haven't got pigment information, but it says that it's a semi-transparent colour and the light fast rating is 6. So we do have information here, which again I would transfer onto a little card. Now we have mini palette, porcelain palette and mixing wells, metal carry case. I already like the look of this because I love a porcelain palette. So let's open this up. So it's got on the back here, look, I cannot open anything neatly. I butcher everything, seriously. Whether it's packs of pasta, whatever it is, I just tear them apart like I am a wild bear. So we've got developed in collaboration with Stephanie Law. Stephanie is a professional watercolor artist based in California. And some stuff about Stephanie there. So Stephanie is collaborating to make this product, which again makes me like it because artists design the best products, obviously. So we've got a QR code here where we can find, it looks like art classes. Okay, so let's have a look at this. I'm entirely failing to open this. I've just painted my nails, so I don't really want to pull at it. Okay, I'm just going to stop the camera for a moment. You'll just see an edit clip. I'm just going to lift this away from the camera. I just can't manipulate my arms properly while I'm trying to keep it in shot, basically. Okay, so I was trying to unscrew it like a muppet, but it just pulls off. I think it was just a bit stiff from being sealed in the packaging. It wasn't too difficult to get off. As I said, I just needed to put it in my lap and give it a bit of welly, as we say in the UK. And we've got a little disc here. So this is made of watercolor paper, and I think what this means is that we can squeeze our paints into the wells, and then we can put a colour in each of these so that we know what we've got going on. So that's nice. And what we've got here is, so we've got, I don't quite understand how the sizes here relate to this, but perhaps I'm just being dumb. So this could be the centre one here. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is obviously the centre one. Maybe the outer one has its own one, or perhaps this is just for when you mix these colours together. I'm not sure about that. I guarantee I would forget to use it anyway. So we've got these little felt discs to go in between. Now, I really like this. This is ceramic, this is nice quality, and this means that you can take this out and about. So when I was out teaching real life classes, this would have been a great thing. But I think it's probably most useful if you're taking a little box out painting and you're painting outdoors, or if you are taking your own paints to a class. So that's nice. And next we'll have a look at what's going on with these pads and larger boxes. So first up, we have a watercolor block. So a block is just a pad of paper that's gummed around the edges, which helps to remove the buckling that you get when you put water and paint onto paper. I personally generally tend to work on stretched paper, but this is great again if you're going to classes. Now, the only problem I have with this, as with the last one they sent me, is it's a hot press paper. It does have, a fair texture actually. It looks a little bit more textured than the last one they sent me. I don't recommend that beginners start painting on hot press paper. It's just far harder to manipulate. The reason paper has those little bumps in is so that the paint is distributed evenly and you don't get puddling. With puddling you get drying lines, and it just can be a little bit harder for beginners. And as a professional artist, when I paint on hot press, I always feel like I'm fighting the paper. Now that said, there are certain occasions when I do use a hot press paper. You might want to use ones if you're doing something like a pen and wash, particularly, I mean, I do dip pen on ordinary watercolor paper, but if you're using one of these very fine liner pens, the more bumpy paper can just be a bit too much for them, so you might want to use that for that. I also like a hot press paper if I'm doing a mixed media. So if I'm going to put on top of my watercolor, if I'm going to put some charcoal or some soft pastel or even some collage, I want a smoother surface because that bumpy surface is not going to take those mediums well. So this is good for a mixed media. And don't forget, you can also paint acrylics on watercolor paper. There's nothing to stop you from doing that at all. So the next thing in the box is an accordion sketch book. I'm really pleased to see this is a cold pressed paper. Much happier with that square format. Now, years ago when I used to exhibit, it's not something that I made because I'm not really that much of a sketchbook user, but there were people that were exhibiting and even selling these accordion sketchbooks where they'd sort of, they'd done either a series of sketches or pulled out so that you had a little thing that you bought and then you would pull it out and it would be a full long painting with the folds in. So I'm just going to take the cellophane wrapper off this as I did with the other one and have a look. It's like pass the parcel here because I've taken the outer packaging off and the box, and now we have more packaging underneath. So I'm going to remove this packaging next. At this point, can I just pop in and ask you to like this video, and if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, particularly watercolor painting, watercolor pencils and drawing, then I have online courses for you. I have many online courses. Some of them are free. I have smaller classes where you can just do a single painting with me, a step-by-step if you will, but then I have much larger courses where you can learn to draw completely from scratch, or perhaps practice watercolor landscapes, or focus on something specific like flowers. You'll find all the details in the video description. Okay, so this is straight. It looks like it should open this way, but it seems to open this way. So we've got some elastic here to hold it closed. Oh, it opens both ways. Okay, so this is going to be quite hard to put on camera, but oh, it just seems to open in a straight line. So here we've got one side and it folds out like this. So you can see it from the side here, and it folds and it folds and it folds and it folds all the way to the other end. So it is just a concertina, and this is lovely. And as I said, when I was exhibiting in galleries, people would sell these almost like people would sell a handmade, a hand-painted greetings card. It was just something a little bit cheaper to offer people that couldn't afford a large size painting. The other thing you can do, of course, is to make a little sketch pad of pictures. So maybe something like a nature diary or birds or something like that. It would absolutely make a fabulous gift to give to someone. My daughter adores birds. I could imagine making a series of sketches, pen and wash, of birds in this and then giving that to her as a gift, and I might actually do that. So I really like this, and as I said, it's a standard surface paper. It's not a hot press paper. There's a join here halfway through, which I mean is probably inevitable, and yeah, this is a great thing. So the last object in the box, and I will try out the paints in a moment, but the last object in the box, and I keep reading it as laminated, but it's laminated. Do llamas bar? I don't know what llamas do. Okay, so we've got watercolor greetings cards, size A6, trifold, so that suggests to me that they perhaps have an aperture rather than just being on two sides. Again, cold press, this is good. Textured envelopes, we've got envelopes in here again. Paperweight 300 GSM, that's quite good, that's quite thick. So I'm going to, actually it just opens quite nicely. So let's pull this out and turn it over, and here we go. We've got a nice box. So this looks super. Oh, well, this is okay. What have we got here? Stickers. We have stickers, handmade, hand-painted, made with love, made to be shared. Now, as someone who sews, I really love these little labels you can put in things. I have some quite sweary labels that you can sew into clothes, and I've actually got some labels that I sew in my daughter's clothes when I make her clothes, and they just say, "You can't buy this," which I think is fantastic. Oh, we've got more labels here. These two seem to be transparent with gold writing on, so this is good. I find at things like Christmas, I don't buy those packs of cheese cheap greetings cards anymore. Most people just don't get cards from me. So if they do get a card, it's usually just, my mother, my daughter, people really close to me, or people I want to say thank you to. I might do a little handmade card for someone during the year that I want to say thank you to. So this, I think, will get good use. We've got some little silicone packs there to keep it dry. Okay, so we've got, looks like dark grey envelopes. So these look very nice envelopes. The only thing with dark envelopes I found is you need one of those sort of gel pens, one of those white or glitter pens to write on them because they don't show up otherwise. So we've got 2 packs there. And what have we got here? So this is the watercolor greetings card. Tri-fold. Oh, okay. So they're not an aperture. They're just a 3-fold. So this is nice. So I guess that you could paint on all 3 sides and have them come out like a concertina. I'm always looking for new ways of using things. So I think another thing that you could do is to cut an aperture in here and then paint on the inside of this one and fold it in like that. So you had a frame. Another thing you could do would be just to glue one side to the other in order to make the front a bit thicker. So I think there's lots of ways of using these. And yeah, I think these look really great, and they're pre-scored, which is important because we'll need that for folding. So what I'll do next is I'll try out the paints, and I think I'll try them on one of the bookmarks. So I've just unwrapped 3 of the colours because, as I said, I'd like to make a little card and swatch these and label them so that I have some information about them. I've unwrapped the blue because I really would like to see, it looks like an ultramarine to me. There's nothing that gives me more fun than guessing paint pigments. Of course, I've no way of knowing if I'm correct with these. It's possible the manufacturer has the pigments listed on their website. Oh, this is definitely an ultramarine. The only other thing it could be is a cobalt, but I'm pretty sure it's an ultramarine. So let's pop a little bit of that up there. You'll see I've taped this bookmark down with a bit of masking tape just to keep it still while I'm working. If you use masking tape like that, you always want to sort of make sure that you have stuck it to your clothing a little bit first of all. So this colour here looks very similar to a sap green to me. There we are, very warm, slightly granulating colour here. And I've also unwrapped a yellow that looks much like a cadmium yellow to me. Yeah, it's not cool enough, I don't think, to be a lemon. Looks like something just like a pure cadmium yellow, to be honest. Okay, and we can play around with the colours here, and really quite cute. And the paint's applying nicely. It's fairly strongly pigmented, certainly a very good amount of pigment for a student brand. I really can't get a good feel for how much pigment is there because I'm just not used to using pan paints. I'm used to squeezing out paints. But you can see from the colours, it's certainly not wishy-washy at all. Let's ruin the landscape effect and go in a bit more. Actually, if we mix it together with the green, then we can just have some other green in the foreground. But yeah, these colours are certainly very strong and very nice. And I'll make swatches of them all before I get rid of the labels so that I know what they're called. Do let me know in the comments if you think I should put some birds in the little fold out sketch pad. I really do like these products. So the things that I like the most, as I said, the paints I'm less interested in, not because there's anything wrong with them, but just because I already have tons and tons of paints. I'm always getting sent paints. So let's think about the other things. The thing that I liked the best was definitely this affair here. I think this is great. I think this is a great thing for traveling, and it's got its own little box and we can stop it from getting damaged by putting the felt in between. Love that very much. And the thing I like second, I would say it's a toss-up between the handmade cards, which really are a very, very lovely set if you like making cards. I mean, I have no idea, as I said, I was not paid to make this video or even asked to make this video, so I have no idea how much these things cost, but that certainly seems like a very nice set of watercolor cards. I've had them from other brands and they've been, very, very basic, and you've got this you've got this whole box of stuff here, and I love the idea. Whoever came up with this, absolutely genius. You might be able to hear my cat Gimlet. Gimlet's also very keen on these, although he's much keener on the idea of lunch. It's not actually lunchtime, but that's not going to stop him asking for it. And of course, I absolutely love this one here, and Gimlet loves it too. So I hope you found this video a little bit different and a little bit enjoyable. Don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know. I've just passed 200,000 subscribers. Yay, go me. And I'd love to know what sort of videos you want me to make going forwards. I've traditionally had a lot of drawing and watercolor technique videos on this channel. I'm not someone that believes in sort of airy-fairy teaching. I like to teach you specific techniques, so don't forget to subscribe. Everything on this channel is Fully Cat approved. And I'd love to know what you would like from this channel going forwards. Some of you asked me if I'll get anything for 200,000 subscribers. The answer is no. YouTube gives you a plaque at 100,000 subscribers. It's over here somewhere, just behind the cat statues. And you also get a plaque at 1 million subscribers. My channel's taken almost 5 years, or maybe longer than 5 years to grow. Don't really want to think about how long it's taken. So I doubt I'll ever get to 1 million, but that doesn't mean I'm finished yet. So do leave me a comment. Let me know what else you'd like to learn.